different way. The more important stuff is what's going on with this offense and what's going on with Sean Mannion. And is he ready for this job? Because he didn't look ready for it in Baltimore. But ultimately, the context of that is also you're playing with a bunch of guys who aren't going to play. So, I mean, is it really that meaningful? Jalen Hurts is not out there. Saquon Barkley's not out there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, other than, there's 32 teams in the NFL. They all had to play preseason games. The Eagles probably had the worst offensive performance. I haven't gone down the list, but I'm pretty confident in saying.
I think you could be confident in saying that.
I'm pretty confident in saying it was probably the worst. And it's got to get better. But it can't get worse. It literally can't.
I just don't get how the problems were all the same. Like literally the same problems of the 2025 offense.
That's football gods chuckling. Yeah, here's your scheme. Here's your scheme. It's going to get even worse in the short term. If you believe in that kind of stuff, which I don't, but yeah, I mean, you can't play 60 minutes of football and get 80 yards. Well, 55. They got some yardage at the end with Cole Payton. And there's a perfect example. You couldn't get 80 because Cole Payton came in and got you 79 on one drive, or what it ended up being, because penalties only 59, but 79 gross. So yeah, there's a perfect example. Somebody's going to make a play. Darius Cooper might make that catch instead of letting it go through his hands, and you got a first down, and all of a sudden you got another set of downs, and maybe you keep moving the football. Who knows? It's got to get better. But, either they're purposefully being ultra vanilla, even compared to their usual vanilla approach in the preseason, or this thing is going to get really, really repetitive, and it's going to be really difficult.
I think it could be, John. We'll see what ends up happening with this thing. It was an ugly game. Obviously, the games don't count, but they do matter. Somebody just said that in the chat. I think that's actually a good way to put it. I think everything matters, John. I'm of the belief that everything matters. Now, there's certain degrees to how much they do matter, obviously. But I thought it was a pretty disappointing performance for the Birds. It is what it is. All right, John, we got a couple comments I'm going to get to early here. We're going to get your recap on 12 practices in, and then a big week upcoming here with the Philadelphia Eagles. Today they have a walkthrough, right? And then they head out to New England. Is that tonight when they go to New England?
Yeah, they're going after the walkthrough. Not sure when the walkthrough. Not sure the timing, but once they're finished that, they're flying up. So they'll be out tonight, and they'll be in Foxborough through Saturday night and come home after the game, obviously. So long trip, maybe a bonding opportunity, but more important to get some good football work in for them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially offensively. Defense, I don't worry about it. I don't even talk about the defense.
Yeah, we're not worried about the defense. Although they get their ass handed to them in that game too. They gave up 31 first downs. They gave up 440 yards. They got their ass beat too.
Nobody's out there. I mean, they were playing with corners that not even their backup corners.
And New England had the ball for 41 minutes. Or not New England. Who the frick did they play? The Ravens had the ball for 41 minutes.
Sean Wade's out there, Brandon George at linebacker. It's like, what?
Well, if we say that for the defense, then we have to extend it to the offense, don't we?
I already said nobody's playing, but the defense was making a play here and there. The offense wasn't. But I said those guys on offense aren't going to, if all things go correctly, they're not playing. Every single one of them. The defense had two guys who were going to play, at least, Jihad and Michael Carter. I'm trying to figure out, is anybody going to play that they played on offense? if all things go correctly. And I don't think there is. I don't think there was.
I don't either. All right, John, we'll see what happens. Chosen one. We have a Cole Payton super fan already, John. I can't believe it. This guy spawned up quick. Cole Young is going to
It's
limit
got to
those
be.
3
It's
and
got to
outs.
be. It's got to be. Well, it's obviously a shtick.
Is it Pumper? It might be Pumper.
I-
Pump, is that you?
He's not. He's never gonna. Cole Payton's never gonna see the light of day unless catastrophe happens. So he's gonna have a tough time limiting 3 and outs from the sidelines. But I'll tell you what. The only thing they had was his off-schedule ability on Saturday night. Anybody concerned that none of the scheme stuff worked at all?
Well,
Anybody?
I don't know. Is it that, or is it is it classic Nick Sirianni trying to be so close to the vest that it's so vanilla? There's nothing they're doing out there.
Yeah, they're running their base plays though. It's not like they're running different plays. They're running they're just not doing the more involved stuff. But if you can't master the basic, what is that? What do you think? They're going to be great at the non-basic about the, calculus 300 instead of calculus 100? That doesn't make sense. If you can't do the base stuff, if you can't run a bootleg.
Yeah, you can't forget base calculus. They can't pass algebra, John.
Well, I mean, look, I'm exaggerating because it is ultimately a meaningless environment with players who aren't projected to play. But again, there's 32 teams. That's what I'm comparing. I'm comparing, but most of the other teams are doing the exact same thing. They're playing a bunch of guys. There's a few that played their starters, but again, you're talking 2-3 series. So the vast majority of the football game, they're playing a bunch of guys that they don't project to play, and everybody looked better than that. That's my concern. Not that it's important because, again, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert will make plays because they're good football players. And I don't care if Sean Mannion or Josh Grizzard or Jared Johnson or Nick Sirianni or Xander Krause is running the offense. They are going to make plays. So the floor of this team is still very high. But obviously the expectations here are enormous. And I don't know if they are capable of reaching those expectations unless things really, really, really pick up quickly.